Hey guys, it's Tommy here. Today I want to talk about how we can learn to love the process of eating healthy and working out and stop being so focused on our outcome goals, like the end result. We're always just chasing and chasing and chasing that end result. And so I think it's really important to just be appreciative of the process and to be in the process as we are going to achieve our outcome goals. So today, first of all, I'd like to start off by just kind of defining what is an outcome goal. So when I have an outcome goal, basically what that looks like is like I want to lose 20 pounds by June 15th, or I want to fit into my size 8 jeans. I want to run a 5K in 35 minutes. So it's very specific. It's very almost like a deadline per se. Outcome goals are great because it gives us something to shoot for. However, without also focusing on behavior goals that get us to the outcome, I think we kind of miss a big piece of this whole equation. So what is a behavior goal? So if my goal is to lose 10 pounds by June 15th, what behaviors are going to be necessary to get me to my end result? So, for example, one of them would be I need to eat protein and lean veggies at least one meal a day. That's one place where I could start. So instead of trying to make a ton of changes at once where I'm going to go to the gym 5 days this week, I'm going to do, all of these crazy changes with my diet. Like I'm not going to eat carbs. I'm not going to, eat any sweets, any sugar, all these things because I'm going to lose 2 or 3 pounds this week just by exercising and cutting out my diet. What happens is when you feel like you've done all those changes and your weight doesn't change at the end of the week, we get really frustrated because we feel like we failed. We feel like a failure, like no matter how good I do or how many changes I make, I just can't get to the end. So instead of having all of these changes, what I think is really great is to basically define one habit or behavior you want to work on for like 1 to 2 weeks. So maybe the first step in your weight loss goal is that you need to do some exercise. Like you just need to get out there and move. So first of all, what I could do is say, this week, I'm going to work out for at least 30 minutes to an hour, 3 days this week. It's very simple. I didn't say you have to do a certain type of exercise. You don't have to do anything specific. You just have to check the box that you went and did something active, whether it be walking, dancing, running, take a class at your gym, weight training, a boot camp, anything. It's basically just that you're going to get to check the box that you did it. So at the end of the week, I may get out a calendar or whatever your existence system is. Maybe it's your phone you're using. Maybe you use a planner at work, whatever it is. You can just go and say, okay, on Monday, I worked out for 30 minutes, and you can just write it out. Like I checked that box. I worked out. I made a note of it. At the end of the week, because that was the only goal you were working on for that week, like I'm going to work out 3 days, when you go back and look at your calendar or your planner or your phone, you'll be able to see, did I work out 3 times that week? If you did, that's great. That means you hit your goal for your behaviors that week. Now, we could also weigh ourselves and we could see, was there any change in our weight? And there could have been, or there might not have been. Sometimes our weight doesn't match up to all of our behaviors. But I will tell you, you will feel so much more successful by at least just focusing on behaviors. Because at the end of the week, you can see like, wow, I really did get into the gym 3 days this week. And I even did an extra day. Like, wow, great. Those are wins. Those are all getting you closer to your goal, even though the outcome goal might not reflect all the positive changes of behavior that you're making. So another way to match behavior goal would be to say, I'm going to include vegetables at 2 meals a day, every day. And that's something, again, that you can track. You can go back, you can see. You could keep track of it in a journal, on notebook paper, on a calendar. You can say veggies at breakfast, veggies at dinner. And you can go back and look at your calendar, look at your planner, and you can see, did I do those behaviors? Again, this is where you can see, where do I need to change something? What's not working for me? What is working for me? Or my goal for doing it is that you see like, wow, I did really good this week. Four out of the 7 days, I ate veggies at 2 meals. When last week, I was only doing it 1 meal. And so you can really see your successes and your wins compounding over time. Like, this is very important for you to see, because it's so easy to get frustrated. Our weight goes up and down, and it's very frustrating when our goal is weight loss. We tend to not see all these positive changes that we are making as we're getting closer to our end goal. And what I've really learned by doing this myself, like, I've always had goals where I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to weigh this much. And what I really noticed is those keep us so in our heads in that perfectionist all or nothing mindset. And it wasn't until I found, people who really started to say, hey, focus on your habits, focus on drinking more water for a couple weeks, just focus on that. Did you do it or did you not do it? Working out, 3 or 4 days a week, doing a certain type of activity. Did you do it or not do it? Eating protein at every meal. That's a very important part of fat loss. Did you do it or not do it? And once I started focusing on these behaviors and stopped looking so much at just the end result, what I noticed is I started getting results. Things started happening, and I was feeling a lot better about myself. I was feeling more successful, and I was feeling like, man, this process is going to work. So in the future, when you're starting to make a goal, I really encourage you to just sit down and write an outcome goal. A great outcome goal would be like, I want to lose 15 pounds by, September 15th. Okay. Great. But what happens if you do a bunch of positive changes with your exercise and your diet, and you're eating better, you're feeling better, and changes in your body are happening, your pants are getting looser, but let's say you only lose 10 pounds by September 15th. Is that a loss? Absolutely not. That is a complete win. Just because you made the bar 15 pounds, but you only lost 10 and you feel great, that's still 10 pounds lost where you were 2 or 3 months prior. So really get involved in your journey and in your process. Just learn to be where you're at. It's always great to also look back to see like how far you've come along. Like, you might have always been eating processed food out of a box, and now you're, cooking your own meals. Focus on these little wins. You may have never been exercising at all before, and now you're lifting weights and you've registered for your first 5K that you're going to run with your friends. Like, these are so important as we go down the road towards our health goals. So I hope that you can this week focus on some behaviors you want to change instead of being so focused on the outcome. Because the outcome goals will come, and they might not be exactly the way you imagine them in your head. But if you might even get close or succeed it, you may do even better than the outcome goal. But start focusing on those behaviors, see where you're at, and focus on changing one behavior at a time. If you don't drink any water right now, for the next 2 weeks, focus on drinking 1 liter of water or 2 liters of water, or whatever you feel you can do. Just focus on that and don't change anything else. Once you got that under your belt and you're feeling confident with it, then you add in another behavior. Well, now I'm going to start, exercising 3 days a week. I've got my water intake up. Now I want to try to start working out for 30 minutes at least 3 times a week. Great. You just keep doing that. You keep going along and you keep adding one behavior to the next. So what do you think? Can you do it? I hope you can enjoy the process. Learn to love your process, because that's what's going to cause the results to come. And it's a journey. I have set many end result goals. I've said I want to weigh this much. I want to do that much. And some of them I've hit, some of them I have not. But I will tell you, the end result that you think is out there that's going to make you happy or that's going to just change your life completely, I'll tell you that when you get there, when you get to that certain weight, when you get to wear a certain size of clothes, guess what? You're going to get there and be like, okay, I did it. What's next? What's next on my journey? Am I going to now start focusing on performance goals in the gym? Like, it's always ever changing. Your end result goal may change. It changes as we age, as things in our life change. These things change all the time. We're never ever going to be just dead set on one thing all our lives. Things change. We have kids, we move, we get married, other stresses in life come up. And so our goals have to change with our lifestyle and what's going on and how much energy and focus we have to put on those goals. But one thing you can control is focusing on daily behaviors that can just make you more healthy in general. So the choice is yours. Keep setting impossible outcomes and struggling and making lots of changes at once, or give it a shot. Try focusing on one behavior at a time and let me know how you do, okay? Thanks.